How did we get here? How did we get here? What in the Alice in Wonderland nightmares is going on right now? All I can say is how fucking dare you? If you voted for that man, if you voted for anybody other than Kamala and you live in one of the states that it was, close, or if you didn't vote, fuck you.
The best is yet to come.
I chose family. I chose women. I chose America. I love you.
How the fuck is this still happening? All I've ever known politically is hatred.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done with you. I'm done with you and your mother and your sister. I'm just done with all of this.
The biggest red wave I've seen since Ronald Reagan's 49 state victory.
There were appeals to racism in this campaign, and there is racial bias in this country, and there is sexism in this country.
I can't help but wonder if the American people have given up on democracy.
I hear what you're saying, and I do see it differently because I'm thinking about the people who are not a part of anybody's elite who are hurting tonight.
If she were a 6'4" white man from Arkansas or from, Florida, do you think she would be losing by that much?
I think that we've got to be honest. Among Hispanic men and black men, there's a lot of misogyny.
There are African-American women who know a little bit about being talked down to, and know a little bit about having their economic dreams crushed, who tried to dream a big dream over the past couple of months.
It's not enough to get enough white women to vote for Vice President Harris, a fellow woman. This will be the second opportunity that white women in this country have to change the way that they interact with the patriarchy.
There's misogyny. But it's not just misogyny from white men. Mm-hmm. It's misogyny from Hispanic men.
Right.
It's misogyny from black men.
And tonight they're trading in a lot of hope for a lot of hurt. And they were hoping that maybe this time, one of their own could be seen as worthy.
Things we've all been talking about, who do not want a woman leading them. Might be race issues with Hispanics. They don't want a black woman as president of the United States.
To all the pollsters, the election pollsters, blow me. I don't ever want to from you again, ever.
People who said that he was a Hitler lover weren't Democrats, they were Republicans. People who said that he was a fascist weren't Democrats, they were Republicans who worked for him.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Complicated business. Complicated.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome into Cobra Cast 199. I am your host, Jeremy Prime, Mage of the 199, and Cobra Commander is here with the Cobra Cast banner. That's right, everyone. We got a lot to talk about. There's a lot going on. The meltdown from the Democrats has hit levels that even I did not expect, but this is where we are. They are breaking down, and we've even got Elon Musk trolling the mainstream media, and I got to show you guys this right now. Elon Musk makes a boob joke to the mainstream media. Look at this.
Hey, Elon. Yep. Elon, can we get your cell phone number if you're giving it out? We have questions.
Something 8008.
What are you planning to talk to House Republicans about?
Elon, let's go. I love it. I love it. I love it. So Elon is doing what Elon does, and somebody said he's a child. Yes, he is, and so am I, and so is the snake pit. Let's go. That's the type of humor we have to get back. So let's go. How's everybody doing today? We have a lot going on. Now, check this out. Check this out. The memes are glorious. JD Vance is a legend. The JD Vance memes have taken over my entire Twitter timeline. JD Vance memes are dominating the internet right now. It's the greatest thing I've ever seen. All right. That image of JD Vance, like, get him out. Get him out. Like, we need to get that So whenever we have a spammer or somebody in the chat that we just need to get them the hell out, just get them out. Just get them out. So, oh man, love it, love it, love it. But with the Democrats, there's a lot of really, really concerning behavior right now from them. And I'm hoping that the FBI and the Secret Service is completely locked in right now because, dude, they are broken right now. Okay, listen to this. So now we have this psychopath who is not only calling for the you-know-what of President Trump, but is calling to have a GoFundMe set up for the person to do it to make sure they have the best commission. All right, so here we go.
I fear somebody's got to do it and get it done quickly. Somebody's got to do it. And we need to set up a GoFundMe for whoever does it to make sure they have the absolute best commissary in there. Top-notch noodles. Top-notch deodorant and shampoo. And hypothetically, if you don't make it after you do it, your kids will go to the top universities with that GoFundMe we'll set up for you. But somebody's got to do it and get it done quickly.
This is concerning. Very concerning. And this is the type of mentality that the Democrats and the mainstream media have inspired from across the board. And that's not the only person doing it. No. We've got some weirdo right here, some freak on TikTok right here saying the same thing. Here you go, right here.
I don't know if this is going to get me banned or not, but Donald Trump needs to be fucking shot, guys. Someone needs to shoot him. I don't know if this is going to get me banned.
So this is the Democratic Party right here. This is what you have created. This is absolutely insane. This is why security is the #1 priority for the Trump administration right now. These people are completely unhinged. They are broken after last night. And they're broken because they did it to themselves. No one else did it. You did this to yourself. You have no one to blame but yourself. Absolutely insane. And they're mad. Look at this. Look at this. This clip is going viral right here. Breaking news. Democrats are going viral for attacking a black 13-year-old cancer survivor, DJ Daniel, after he was celebrated by President Trump. They're attacking the 13-year-old child. This is a new low for the Democrats. So as I was just over a Value Renegade on his channel talking about this, but this right here, as much as like President Trump's speech last night was perfect. Everything was spot on. It was a masterpiece. But the bigger story is that the Democrats had a worse night than Donald Trump had a great night. But in return, it goes back to Donald Trump having a great night because that's why. But they were so bad last night. Their behavior was so pathetic, and it has affected so many people's view of the Democratic Party now. It's unbelievable how bad last night was for them, and they're continuing to make it worse right now. They are completely broken. TDS has completely taken them over. I am astonished by it. I am not surprised, but it is really impressive to see just how bad they are. I mean, let's look at a few clips from last night, if I can get YouTube to work for me here. Right here. Okay, here we go. Let's check this out.
The dawn stood beneath the dome of this Capitol and proclaimed the dawn of the golden age of America. From that moment on, it has been nothing but swift and unrelenting action to usher in the greatest and most successful era in the history of our country. We're seeking permanent income tax cuts all across the board. And to get urgently needed relief to Americans hit especially hard by inflation. And we quickly achieved the lowest numbers of illegal border crossers ever recorded. Thank you. The media and our friends in the Democrat Party kept saying we needed new legislation. We must have legislation to secure the border. But it turned out that all we really needed was a new president.
Yeah!
In January, the U.S. Army had its single best recruiting month in 15 years. 3.5 years ago, ISIS terrorists killed 13 American service members and countless others in the Abbey Gate bombing during the disastrous and incompetent withdrawal from Afghanistan. Tonight, I am pleased to announce that we have just apprehended the top terrorist responsible for that atrocity. Now, for the first time in modern history, more Americans believe that our country is headed in the right direction than the wrong direction. In fact,
Members are directed to.
Listen, I'm going to get, we crap on Mike Johnson a lot. He handled business like a boss last night. He didn't waste any time. I thought he handled this situation perfectly.
Uphold and maintain decorum in the House and to cease any further disruptions. That's your warning. Mr. Green, take your seat. Take your seat, sir. Remove this gentleman from the chamber.
Democrats sitting before me, for just this one night, why not join us in celebrating so many incredible wins for America? For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
Honey. There you go. President Trump gave a historic address on the House floor, longest speech ever for a State of the Union or an address to a joint session of Congress. I'm live from our nation's capital, and it is, I believe, and we need a second source, it is Ash Wednesday. I'd like to take this time to say hello to my three anchors back in New York.
Thank you very much, Brian. If today's Ash Wednesday, that means yesterday was Mardi Gras, Fat Tuesday, and a big celebration in that big round white building behind you, Brian. Yesterday we were talking, how long do you think the speech is going to be? I said probably knowing Trump and the applause he's going to get, I said 100 minutes. I was off by one. It was 99 minutes. But here's the thing. It never lagged.
No, it didn't, because it's
once
Trump.
again, Donald Trump has cemented his legacy, not only as the...
Who's the chick? I think that's Sean Hannity's old lady. Am I right about that? Isn't that who Sean Hannity hooked up with? I must say, Sean, I'm not a fan of you, but nice work, my friend. I think. Am I right about that? Yeah. Now, on that note right there, speaking of that, and rumors are flying right now, but our boy, okay, Elon was working the game last night, okay? Baby number 15 might be on the way, ladies and gentlemen. Look at here. Look at Elon. Here we go. He got 2 waters. All right, looks over. Let's go, Elon. Good job, Elon. All right, he's working it, man. Elon got another baby. Oh, man, that was funny as hell. So, all right, back to this really quick.
45th and 47th president, but as a president who understands the television medium better than anybody who has ever held that post before. People were laughing, people were crying, there were highs and lows, and it was all about taking a victory lap so far and look ahead at a new golden age.
It was a missed opportunity yesterday. The president started the speech out saying, essentially, there's nothing I can do to please the Democrats. They won't unify. They won't do anything.
Yep.
And then he proceeds to tell these incredible stories, just things that aren't partisan at all, aren't political at all, just wins for the country, average day people, and they did not stand up. You look at the polling that came after this. CBS did a poll with YouGov. 76% agreed with removing the congressman. 76% approved of the speech. And if you go down the list of all the issues when it comes to wasteful spending, immigration, Ukraine and Russia war, over 70% of the country agree with what the president said during his speech.
Yeah, it was a great.
That shot of Pelosi, I mean, it's amazing how Trump, the billionaire, is basically Batman, and it's like right here. Look, I mean, it's like Batman villains. Donald Trump is Batman. They're all Batman villains. You can't make this shit up, dude. It's absolutely insane. I mean, you can't make this up. Oh man, I love it so much.
Speech, and the president reminded the crowd that he's only been in office for 43 days, and he says we're just getting started. A lot of people in the chamber, the Republicans, chanting USA, USA, USA. When the Democrats started to heckle, their voices actually overpowered the Democratic voices. But he reminded everyone that the election was a mandate. He said we won all 7 swing states. We won the popular vote by big numbers. He said 270 to 525 to map out. That reads Republican, and the Democrats were yelling, and the Republicans were saying USA, USA.
Yeah, it was the mandate. I was in the Yeah, I was in the chamber, and I tell you, the story was really 2 countries. I mean, you could not have been more juvenile.
Well, yeah, I mean, the story right now, like Donald Trump doesn't need to. Donald Trump is as popular as he's ever been. He's more popular than he's ever been. He's more respected. He has the best team possible. The story last night, even though Trump was flawless, the story is the Democrats. And the story is the Democrats because of Trump, but they are still the story, and how badly they showed them. They appeared to be children, spoiled children who can't have their way. This is not going to help them gain anybody to their side of the argument. None. They are spoiled brats. They acted like that. They acted like children. They couldn't stand for a 13-year-old child with brain surgery being celebrated. It's unbelievable.
As a Democrat, all you could see from up top is the Democrats, 2 rows, basically mostly female, writing down different things on erasable boards. Or deciding what circle sign to hold up. And then this other one congresswoman, while he was walking in, was holding a sign that said, "This is not normal."
Right.
Then the Texas congressman grabbed it out of her hand.
Yes,
And
I've
then
got
see
that
this
clip.
guy, Al Green, who, by the way, Sean
See if I can
Duffy
find that.
walked down the aisle, was Secretary of Transportation, just talking to everyone. I don't know what he was talking. I can't wait to ask him what I was talking to Al Green about. They must have talked for 10 minutes. So all of a sudden, he just stands up and yells. And the weird thing was, the sergeant.
Here it is right here. Here it is right here. He says, let's see. Putting the American people first is normal. No one will disrespect President Trump in front of me. Here we go right here. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. There he went. He just reached across and took it. That's what's up right there. This is the attitude that we have needed for so long.
Yeah, the sergeant of arms goes to Nancy Pelosi first. Why are you checking with Nancy Pelosi? He's standing up, screaming at the president of the United States. Why are you there? Then he walks up, talks to him. He stops talking for a second, doesn't sit, and cuts yelling again. And it takes the speaker to get somebody else to come in and toss him out. And then they talk to Nancy Pelosi again. Did she approve of this behavior? Do you need her to sign off on this?
That's ridiculous.
I don't know. Was she
I didn't know
how's
that.
your new hip? So to me, if you were going to sit there and text and hold up signs, I almost rather you do what AOC did and just stay
Just
home.
don't come.
Live stream.
Some of them were on their phones. They were holding up those paddles that said false.
embarrassing.
Someone had a whiteboard and they kept erasing and writing new messages on there in disagreement with Donald Trump.
Rashida Tlaib.
Yeah, ultimately, the Democrats, and there you can see the little round signs Brian was just talking about, The Democrats just look small because the message of Trump was big, and it was for all Americans. And a couple of times he talked a little bit about how we need to unite and get stuff done. But the Democrats did sit on their hands, even when they had emotional and very special guests like these.
Alexis, I promised that we would always remember your daughter. Across Galveston Bay from where Jocelyn lived in Houston, you will find a magnificent national wildlife refuge. Moments ago, I formally renamed that refuge in loving memory of your beautiful daughter, Jocelyn. The very first bill I signed into law as your 47th president mandates the detention of all dangerous criminal aliens. It's called the Laken-Riley Act. So Allison and Lauren, America will never, ever forget our beautiful Laken Hope Riley. Nearly 4 years ago, amid rising tensions, a history teacher named Mark Fogel was detained in Russia. But last summer, I promised his 95-year-old mother, Malfine, that we would bring her boy safely back home. My life was saved by a fraction of an inch, but some were not so lucky. Corey Comparator was a firefighter, a veteran, a Christian, a husband, a devoted father. We're joined by Corey's wife, Helen, who was his high school sweetheart, and their two beloved daughters, Allison and Kaylee. Our First Lady is joined by two impressive young women, very impressive. Haley Ferguson, who benefited from the First Lady's Fostering the Future initiative, and Elliston Berry, who became a victim of an illicit deepfake image. Jason tragically lost his dad, who was also a Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputy when he was just a boy, and now...
Reminder, Democrats didn't stand for any of these people. None of them. They disrespected every single person that President Trump mentioned.
He wants to carry on the family legacy of service. And his greatest dream is to attend the U.S. Military Academy at West Point. I'm pleased to inform you that your application has been accepted. You will soon be joining the Corps of Cadets. DJ Daniel, he is 13 years old, and he has always dreamed of becoming a police officer. And tonight, DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service.
How beautiful is all of that?
So beautiful.
You would think the Democrats would clap for that, would stand up, at least be bipartisan on those issues.
Yeah, Brian, when my wife and I watched DJ Daniels hug the new director of the Secret Service, we both had tears coming down our faces, out of our eyes. It had to be like that, at least in half of the chamber that you were in last night.
Yeah, people went crazy, and I looked right over to the left and thought, okay, this is going to be the moment where people have to clap for a 13-year-old, for a kid that was supposed to be dead at 5, who's sitting there at 13, overcoming cancer. I'm like, how can you sit? But instead, they sat and looked indifferent. I mean, to me, there was a lack of organization. I mean, I don't think Hakeem Jeffries said everyone sit down and ignore.
Everybody laughed at Alex Jones when he called them demons, and that's exactly what they are. They are demons. They are evil. They are beyond evil. They are just the most disgusting pieces of shit on the planet.
Or kids with cancer. Really? You're ignoring kids with cancer? You're ignoring murder, the survivors of a murdered teen? You can't clap for the naming of a park? It was astounding. I just think it was embarrassing, but it's also sad. I mean, you have a group of people that aren't going to do anything for 4 years, and you saw them walk away from that girls in sports bill 3 days ago. They just
Right.
didn't show up, half
Yeah.
of them.
Lawrence.
You know, I saw 14
Look
walked
at that
out.
hug. That
Yeah, they
hug.
said.
Great.
And
Look
if
at
you
that,
guys
14 walked.
And if you guys remember, because this is the person running the Secret Service now, this is also the Secret Service agent that was in that iconic picture with Donald Trump at Butler, Pennsylvania when he was shot. That's him right there.
out during
17
the ceremony.
boycotted, 14
Yeah.
walked out. And Ted Cruz said, I have never seen such a disgraceful display as the Democrats put on. I've been to 13 State of the Union addresses. I've been to every one. I've never missed one. Every time Joe Biden walked into the chamber, I stood up and I clapped. This is a radical party that is full of rage and hatred.
Somewhere down the line, the Democrats lost their way. I mean, the things that were discussed.
They lost their way. It's the line. It's basically in the Dark Knight, all right, when Alfred is talking to Bruce, after Rachel's death, and it's like they turned to a man they didn't fully understand. That's what happened with Barack Obama. George W. Bush was such a piece of shit that so many people turned to Barack Obama, a man they didn't fully understand because of the hatred for George W. Bush and the endless wars that the Bush administration was creating. And that's really the beginning of where it all started to fall apart for the Democratic Party. But it was worse than that before. I mean, again, I think George W. Bush was truly the beginning of it because I personally think George W. Bush is just an awful, awful, awful president. I think George W. Bush is a war criminal. There are, I don't know how many, I can't even estimate how many tens of thousands of lives are lost because of the decisions that the Bush administration made because of their endless war bullshit. And I mean, you want to talk about like his history in my lifetime. George W. Bush has got to be one of the most evil people. Him and his entire administration, by the way, one of the most evil people and groups of people, period. Horrible. Unbelievable. But so, of course, George W. Bush, got us into that mess and lost so much faith from so many people. You go back to 9/11 when America, by the numbers, it was all fake, but by the numbers, after 9/11, we were more united as a country than we've ever been. You can go back to that moment when George W. Bush came out to was it a Yankees game where he threw out that first pitch? Am I right about that, chat? Was it the Yankees game where he came out and threw that first pitch? And that was just an unbelievable moment as an American. The patriotism was at an all-time high. You've never felt a moment like that. If you were alive back then and witnessed it, people that are old enough remember that moment. And in that moment, we the people have never been more united than we were in that moment. And everybody was behind George W. Bush. Everybody. And it was all fake. It was all fake because he was using that shit for his endless wars. And that's all it was used for. It was never about doing anything other than creating war and getting involved in that mess and getting oil and all. Anyway, I'm not going to go on that rant right now. Fuck George W. Bush, though. Anyway, the point being is that he said somewhere along the way, the Democrats lost their way. And I would say the moment that this country embraced Barack Obama, it was it. I was fooled by it too, by the way. So many people were. And so, by the time you got to Obama's third term, even though that was a Joe Biden one, when you got to Obama's second term and you got halfway through it, at that point in time, it was obvious what was going on. It was obvious what was going on. After Barack Obama got reelected, that's when you started to see the real Barack Obama. And the real Barack Obama created so much racial division in this country that we are still dealing with it to this day, because there are many young kids that were basically brainwashed through the Obama administration. Race relations in the 80s and the 90s were extremely good, especially compared to where they are now. And a lot of young minds were brainwashed through the Obama bullshit and the mainstream media pushing the Obama lies and all of that. And all of the police brutality bullshit that happened, and Barack Obama would come out there and speak about it before any facts or any information was out there. But Barack Obama, the leader of the free world, would come out there and start speaking about how police brutality and how black people are being attacked all the time. And he created so much racial division in this country. And it's a disease that infected us, and we're still dealing with that to this day. But thankfully, a young, vibrant man from New York by the name of Donald Trump saw what was going on. He started attacking Barack Hussein Obama, started calling into question his legitimacy as an American citizen, and the rest is history, ladies and gentlemen. And if it wasn't for Donald Trump, and this is where I get in, like I talked about this on Valiant Stream earlier, we all think about nostalgia. We all think about everything, about how good things were back then. Oh, Star Wars was so great in the 80s. Do you remember how magical Star Wars was? We do. And it's never going to be like that again. Do you remember how great the professional wrestling was back in the day with the Attitude Era? It's never going to be like that. I'm a NASCAR fan. NASCAR back in the day, you know, in the 80s and the 90s with Dale Earnhardt and Rusty Wallace and Mark Martin, you know, Dale Jarrett, Ricky Rudd, man, that was awesome. It's never going to be like that again. But we do need to appreciate what we have right now with Donald Trump, because we are living through the greatest glory of politics with Donald Trump. We're never going to see anything like this again. Appreciate it, because it's right here in front of us and we're living through it right now. It will never be better than it is right now. And it's rare that you can appreciate the moment when you're in the moment, but we have to appreciate the moment while we're in the moment. We don't want to be 10, 20, 30 years from now going, man, you remember what it was like when President Trump was in office, making America great again, calling the Democrats out, smacking all of these world leaders around. Let's appreciate it now, because it's happening right now and it's fucking fantastic. And Trump is one of one. There's never, ever going to be anybody like this guy. A second to Trump, though, is this guy. And I like how they said right here, Elon was taking zero chances with his hand movements this time around. Well played. If you watch Elon, it's clear that Elon is very aware of what he's trying to do with his hands. And it's so damn funny. Watch him.
Perhaps you've heard of it. Perhaps. Which is headed by Elon Musk, who is in the gallery tonight.
You see, he catches his hands right here. Watch. He caught himself. He's like, wait, don't give my heart to everyone. Oh man, Elon's great. And yeah, with the combination of Trump and Elon, it's pretty much unstoppable right now, what America has going on, and it's great to see. Doc Hollywood for 50 says, best presidential speech I've ever watched. Trump killed it. You got to be tired of winning by now. Let the good times keep rolling, baby. It is fantastic, is it not? Yes, it was. I would argue that might, yeah, I got to think about it. I don't want to get like, I don't want to, I think it might be, yeah, I don't want to be a prisoner of the moment, but I have to say that might be Trump's best speech to date. He's given some great ones. His one at the RNC right after getting shot was pretty fantastic, but that one right there, that was a banger. That was a banger. 1992 Space Movie says, sadly couldn't watch the stream live, but I was able to watch the stream while working. While hearing Trump's speech, all I could think was this is what I voted for. But we all know Jeremy won't read my super chat. Man, you guys, thank you, 1992 Space Movie. And don't Google 1992 Space Movie, anybody. Don't. I know if I tell you not to Google 1992 Space Movie, you won't do it. Okay? So don't. Okay? Don't do it. You won't get good results. So Jeff Hill says the Democrats showing how terrible and deranged they are when they couldn't even stand up and clap for a 13-year-old that had brain cancer. I know. It's not an adult film. Well, not that kind of adult film anyway. Somebody said just Googled it. What the fuck? I don't know. Somebody told me to Google it. That's how I found out. I'm like, how is this a thing? AOE2 Freak says, I saw that a Canadian coffee shop renamed Americanos to Canadianos. Or Canadianos? Is that how I say it? Canadian O's? I mean, this is actually pretty funny. I'm petty enough to enjoy it. Is this for real? Is that for real? Good Lord. Mad Max says, Jeremy, after seeing that the Dems couldn't even clap for a 13-year-old who had cancer is truly disgusting and fills me with rage. I know what it's like to take care of a disabled child. Well, I 100% agree with you, Mad Max 71, but take joy in the fact that this kid is now becoming a freaking rock star. Okay, check this out.
Can I call you officer or agent, DJ Daniel, all of the above?
It really don't matter to me. I love women, so I don't care.
Yeah!
That's amazing. DJ Daniel, I want to ask you, first and foremost, do you love President Trump? And are you so excited to be here on the White House grounds?
Obviously, because I gave him a great note that says Donald Trump is the best president of the United States of America.
And why do you feel that way?
Because honestly, I honestly wanted to see Donald Trump in real life, and now it's actually came true. And to my friends, I know one of my friends told me to say this to Donald Trump, but I didn't say it to him. So good luck, buddy.
Last thing, because we know you got to bounce. What would your one piece of advice for the Secret Service be?
Please stop being mean to President Trump, because if I see you being mean to him, I'm coming after you.
I love that. I think you need to become the director of the Secret Service. DJ, it is such an honor to have met you. He has one more thing to say. I won't interrupt you.
If you're a Democrat and you're being mean to President Trump, I'm on your bumper.
You are about to go so viral, and you went viral last night.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm kind of acting like Miss Candace Matthews from Houston, Texas.
That's amazing. Do you have anything else that you want to say? You should just take my job at this point.
May bless America.
How about that, Steve? I think we found my replacement, your replacement.
Thank you.
Would you ever run for president?
I'm not sure. I'm a little bit too young. Well, really and truly, I'm not young. I'm a 13. I'm a 50-year-old trapped in a 50-year-old body. I might look 13, but I'm 50.
I love that, and it sounds like you gotta go. The War Room Posse loves you. It's an honor to have met you, sir.
I can't go yet because I see a little bald spot. I rub bald heads for good luck, if you know.
I think they want you to go, so I think you're gonna have to go.
Okay. Never mind.
Very nice to meet you.
DJ Daniel, so amazing.
I just
Absolutely
realized
incredible.
that's the first
Thank
time I
you.
ever shaked a woman's hand. That's crazy.
Got a hug.
man.
Look at him. Let's go.
Thank you so much. Jack Pasova, Natalie, thank you so much. DJ Daniels, who stole the show last night, stealing the show again here.
Oh man, you got to love it, man. And all of this is because America was made great again by President Trump becoming the 47th president of the United States. We are living in the greatest era ever. It really is something else, man. Amazing stuff. Amazing indeed. What is this? Oh, we got that one. Oh, no. That's Machiavelli memes, I think, posted that. Yeah, there we go. Oh, goodness, man. The memes have been out of control. I'm loving it. The internet has just been phenomenal. By the way, right here, like I've seen everybody celebrating, this right here. But listen, all this means is this is essentially the equivalent of Hassan getting a ban on Twitch. It means absolutely nothing. There's no real meaning to him being censored at all. Nothing. It's all it is like, oh, we banned Hassan. What does banning Hassan mean? Nothing. Okay, then. So There's really no point to this. I know everybody's celebrating it, so that's great, but it's just ridiculous that this guy actually got, like, he's going to get away with it because there's not going to be any punishment, no real punishment at all. So, and if you're just tuning in, I appreciate all of you being here. We've got a lot going on. Alaska Airlines flight attendant cries after being fired for twerking. Have you guys seen this? Right here. Here we go. American Airlines flight attendant fired after twerking.
She's the flight attendant whose twerking cost her dream job.
I didn't think that, being so happy can turn into something like this.
Nell Diallo was having a great time dancing and twerking in the aisle on an empty plane before an early morning flight.
I decided to just take advantage of the moment to wake myself up.
I'm going to go out on a limb here. And say that she's going to have zero problems getting money after this.
And kind of getting myself hyped up for my day, basically.
She posted the video on TikTok along with the caption, "What's wrong with a little twerk before work?" But after the video went viral, she says Alaska Airlines fired her. What did they say to you?
They just said that I broke their social media policy.
Nell had only been on the job for 6 months. She says she was twerking to celebrate the end of her probationary period. Why did you decide to post the video?
And I was really proud of myself that I came so far. I just didn't think that my video and my post and the way I was dancing would be deemed as inappropriate.
So how did you feel in that meeting when they told you you lost your job?
I put on such a proud face every time I stepped on that plane. And for them to terminate me without giving me a chance.
Look, man, I think she has a great personality, okay? Let's just get that out of the way. Great personality, phenomenal personality. You deserve to be fired. I'm sorry. You deserve to be fired.
Yes.
So, I mean, there's no, you can't sit there and pretend you care about your job when you're making a mockery of the job. So, again, great personality, but you deserve to be fired. Now, we'll see if they, as long as they hold that consistency with everybody else, we'll see if that happens. But now I got to say, guys, it might be over for President Trump. He's had a good run. But I think it's over for him. I don't know if he can recover from this right here, ladies and gentlemen. So here we go right here. Can Trump recover? This might be the end for Trump.
I was really stunned that the election was fought over the cost of living and families who live paycheck to paycheck, concerned about whether or not they were going to be able to pay their bills, be able to pay for their health care, in some cases even putting food on the table. And the address tonight didn't address any of those issues about cost of living and the fact that people live paycheck to paycheck. And what we ought to be doing in the Congress is to make sure that we are helping people to secure an economic future for themselves and their families. I found the speech to be vengeful, revengeful, and instead of being lifting the hopes and the aspirations of people of the United States, of how we move forward as the great nation that we are, what the vision for our future was, it devolved.
Someone said it's future savvy. Oh my goodness. She does not. This one does not have a great personality.
Into just vindictiveness and self-adulation on behalf of Donald Trump. It did not address the issue of unchecked billionaires like his friend, ally, and Elon Musk. It was not a speech befitting a great world leader or a great president of the United States.
You know, it's interesting you brought that up because on the Elon Musk front, and again, this is the theme of right now, the theme of today, Democrats are completely broken. Okay. Now, Maxine Waters, another very, very, very unattractive Democrat, demon, goblin, whatever you want to call her. Listen to what Maxine Waters has to say.
Turned it over to him. And we don't know everything that Elon Musk has done with his high technology ass. We don't know what he's being accused of by some as it may relate to the election. But we're not going to give up in investigating and finding it. Turned it over to him.
So she's basically saying that Elon Musk rigged the election with his high-tech ass. Oh my God, man. These are the most unattractive people on the planet. And since you guys have had to sit through very, very disturbing images, and we haven't gotten a proper 199, but that's okay. All right. I think we can, there we go. All right, there. All right. Does that make up for it? Okay. Does that make up for the imagery that we've just had to sit through? Okay. Are you happy? I'd like to remind you that people on the internet called Sydney Sweeney mid, by the way. Mid. Stop it. Stop it. So anyway, there you go. All right. So hopefully you're happy there with that. But okay, let me get to some of these. Marmillan says, usually hate children into politics, but the DJ stuff was nothing on politics. Just a kid trying to get deputized into 100 different departments since he may not be around for a while. Yeah, man, that's it. That's all it is. And look, Donald Trump made that kid's dream come true. That's all he did. That's all he did. Jimmy says, I've been losing friends for years because I called W a war criminal. Well, I promise you that the majority of people here in the snake pit are going to agree with you. I can promise you that because he certainly qualifies as that. Salty Seas for 20 says she looks like the pigeon lady from Home Alone. Yes, she does. CJ says, I enlisted in the Coast Guard just after 9/11. W. Bush was my commander-in-chief. Once respected him. Now I see him and Obama are just two sides of the same coin. Now I say hail and thank God for Trump. I hear you on that, man. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. I'm in the first couple of years of George W. Bush's administration, like I was all in. Like, I was raised like, as a Republican, all that stuff. But so I was all in like at first. I wanted George W. Bush to win. I didn't want Al Gore to win. I didn't want Bill Clinton to win. So in the beginning, I was a big supporter of Bush 43, but once you saw what he was all about, Kyle Phantom for 50 says, very unpopular take. The golden age for Star Wars was the early 90s through the late 2000s, especially if you were a Star Wars fan who was into the books, comics, and the video games. Not enough love for the prequels. Well, I am a huge prequel defender. And that was one of the reasons that I struggled at first with criticizing Disney Star Wars, which for the record, I loved The Force Awakens when it first came out. And it wasn't until after The Last Jedi where I started to realize how much I really despised what was going on with Disney Star Wars. But I always defended the prequels, and I always felt like that prequel hate was absolutely insane. And I always stood for George Lucas because George Lucas created Star Wars. Yeah, he made some mistakes, no doubt about that. I'm not saying the prequels were perfect, but I absolutely love the prequels. And as time has gone on, Revenge of the Sith has become my favorite Star Wars movie. For the longest, my favorite was between Empire and Jedi because Jedi was the first Star Wars movie that I watched as a kid. So I had a lot of nostalgia for Jedi. But, objectively, Empire Strikes Back is just a better movie. So Empire was always, Empire was right there as my favorite. And then over time, Revenge of the Sith has just gotten better and better and better. And I love Revenge of the Sith so much. But I'm a prequel defender right there with you. So my whole thing was, and this was before I really had a following on YouTube, but I just always argued for the prequels, and I argued against the George Lucas hate. And so I always had this thing like, if you hate Star Wars, why are you even a Star Wars fan? This is in the Lucas era, because there were so many fans that would trash George Lucas. I'm like, he is Star Wars. He is Star Wars. And so once the Disney movies came out, when we got to The Last Jedi, I was like, man, I've been standing up for Star Wars forever. It's going to be weird. Like, I can't hate a Star Wars movie. But of course I ended up hating that one. And then going back and retroactively, it's kind of ruined The Force Awakens for me as well. And anyway, but I hear what you're saying, man. Prequel love forever. Love the prequels. Norm Al Man for 20 says DJ for Secret Service Director. I'll be right there for that one. Norm Al Man says, this lady, I didn't know Korn was banned on YouTube. Exactly. Yeah, that lady you're talking about with the flight attendant. She's the type to put porn on YouTube and they go, I didn't know it was banned. Why am I getting in trouble? Operation Outstanding Infield says, pardon my flex, but Natalie Winters follows me. She is legit in real life, one of the good ones. I've heard people mention her, but I don't know a lot about her. John freaking Murdoch says, Mr. Spock. What's up, John? I know who that's in reference to now. Mar Millet says 4 years of insane price raising Democrats. Inflation. Where'd it go? Hang on. It just jumped on me. Crap. Inflation is transitory. You're fine. You're way better off. Shut up, plebs. 3 months into Trump. How is he not lowering cost? Yeah. Again, Democrats and their arguments never have any consistency whatsoever. Emmanuel, thank you for the gifted membership. Blast Radio says, Mad Maxine, drunk auntie needs to worry about her crime-ridden district and hope Elon Musk will break off some of that money to fix her crooked wig. Yeah, how are these people, like, how do people pay attention to them? Spirian with the 199, thank you, Spirian. Jeremy is gay for $1. Grant Potato says, that was Vera Dark's evil twin. Jeremy is gay says, updated pic. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Zinny Biscuit says, happy Ash Wednesday, Snake Pit. What's up, Zinny Biscuit? Hail to you. And real quick, just before we continue, because we got a lot more to talk about and we don't have a lot of time, but if you go over, and mods are going to be dropping links right now, but if you go over to metapc.com, metapcs.com, if you're looking for a computer, if you're looking for a laptop, they have custom builds over there. You can check them out and use the promo code 199, and you can get a little bit of a discount, but also just show some support for Cobra Cast, Geeks and Gamers, and the Snake Pit. Promo code 199. I got to pin that post. So let me see here. There's Can Man. I got yours. That link right there in the description. If you support them through that link, you're supporting us. So we greatly appreciate it. They've done a lot to help us. We've been friends with them forever. Veteran owned, operates in the USA, and they support us. And trust me, not a lot of companies do. But I have turned down some pretty, like, for instance, I talked about some other companies I've turned down, like, big sponsorships from because they were shit. Meta PC's always had our back. So I'm really happy about it. So I hope you guys will go check them out and support them. And we will talk more about that for sure. Now, if you missed it at the beginning of the show, Elon Musk trolled the media with this one right here when they asked for his phone number.
Hey, Elon. Yep. Elon, can we get your cell phone number if you're giving it out? We have questions.
Something 8008.
What are you planning to call the House of Public?
Something 8008. Elon said boob. So there we go. Elon continuing to troll the mainstream media as he always does. Because there's nobody like Elon. There's nobody. I mean, he's so great to see. Now, President Trump apparently had a call with Governor Trudeau today. Trump just body slammed Justin Trudeau. He was unable to tell me when the Canadian election is taking place. which made me curious, like, what's going on here? I then realized he's trying to use this issue to stay in power. Good luck, Justin. Trump absolutely destroys him. Holy crap. Justin Trudeau of Canada called me to ask what could be done about the tariffs. I told him that many people have died from fentanyl that came through the borders of Canada and Mexico, and nothing has convinced me that it has stopped. He said it's gotten better, but I said that's not good enough. The call ended in a somewhat friendly manner. So there you go. This is what Trudeau is doing. Donald Trump is too smart. He's not going to fall for your bullshit, Governor Trudeau. You know, that's just the reality of the situation, and he's just going to have to accept that. So, let me see. There was another clip that I wanted to show you. What is this? Oh, you got to be kidding me. Oh, no. The reason, I follow the Retard Finder account on Twitter, and he responds to all this stuff, and oh, I see this.
In last night's State of the Union, President Trump attacked me personally. To be honest, it was unexpected, but not a surprise, because this is exactly what petty tyrants do. But let me be clear. Donald Trump and his lackeys aren't attacking me because I've done something wrong. They're attacking me because I've done something right. Republicans in Georgia and in the White House are terrified of voter engagement and the power of the people. Why? Because they're failing to deliver on their promises to protect and defend Americans. Trump and his complicit Republicans want to distract from their failures by targeting those of us who have the audacity to stand up and demand more. They're scared of us because we actually fight for the people, because we believe in we the people. They're afraid that we will show Americans and the world what's right, not through insult, but through action. And yes, we've taken action. We've registered and turned out thousands of Georgians. We've lowered energy prices for the working class and tackled the climate crisis that is gripping every part of our country. That's why they're abusing their power to come after me, because we've shown we can deliver. Independent fact checkers have repeatedly called these attacks false, but the lies are the point. This isn't a new strategy. It's the common playbook of authoritarians and authoritarians in waiting. And while I might be one of the first targets for their abuse of power, I will not be the last. That's why we must not back down. Our country.
I can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore. This is infuriating to listen to. You know, they can continue to make up false narratives if they want, but this is what got you into this position to begin with. You did this to yourself. You did this. All of your rhetoric, all of your lies, all of your bullshit, that's what has gotten you into this. And you're continuing to do the very thing that got you into this mess because you're too stupid to realize how bad it makes you look. It's amazing. It really is. So I'm okay with it. I'm glad that they keep doing it. I'm glad that they keep making themselves look stupid. I am here for it completely. Now, I don't know if you guys saw this, but, you know, this DJ Daniel kid, I had never seen this video, but right here, and this makes the story that much better. But DJ Daniel was bullied by a group of people because he wanted to be a police officer. President Trump surprised him by making him an honorary United States Secret Service agent. I don't know if you guys have seen this.
Oh, baby, you can't arrest me. You too cocky. So you on your phone? You about to go to what? Yeah. His ass back for real. Sir.
What's she supposed to be doing? A wiggy dance?
Arrest her!
I would like to just make a point, and I'm just going to make a simple point that I think that it's important to have a mother and a father in a home to raise children. I know it's a crazy idea, but a mother and a father in a home raising a child is a pretty valuable asset to a child.
Oh, baby, you can't raise me. You too cocky.
And tonight, DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service.
That's great stuff, man. I mean, that's what it's all about. And if and to that point, I mean, we covered this last night, but like, this is how the mainstream media decided to respond to this story right here.
I think this was a lesson in finding one thing that you let yourself feel. And I let myself feel joy about DJ. And I hope he's alive for another, 95 years, right? And I hope he lives and the life he wants to live. He wants to be a cop. He knows what he wants to do. And maybe when you have childhood cancer, that crystallizes for you. And I hope he has a long life as a law enforcement officer. But I hope he never has to defend the United States Capitol against Donald Trump's supporters. And if he does, I hope he isn't one of the 6 who loses his life to suicide. And I hope he isn't one who has to testify against the people who carried out acts of seditious conspiracy and then live to see Donald Trump pardon those people. But I think this was a lesson in finding one thing.
Broken. Absolutely broken. And one more time, this is him in his own words right here.
But you want to know the craziest part? Because my mom bathes me and my brothers all together. And out of nowhere, I locked up. And then my dad was calling my name, and I started going to the slow thing. And he said, "Stop playing with me." And then I started to act, I ain't gonna lie, I started to act slow. And then as soon as he said that, we was speeding all the way, running lights, going to the hospital. And then next thing you know, I was seizing on the table. They said, "No, we're gonna have to go in his brain tonight." Ever since then, I had 13 brain surgeries, and that's how many times my personality has changed. And that's something that you don't hear from a terminally ill child. They had 5 months to live. I'm gonna keep on going into my gas tanks right now. And that's when God calls you home. You never know when God's gonna call you home. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my dad. I know he's pretty proud of me, and I'm pretty proud of him too. And I'd like to thank President Trump, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here today.
There you go, right there. There you go. But the Democrats hate this kid because President Trump had something nice to say about him. This is how they operate. It's absolutely insane. Vlad says, Daredevil, great so far. State of the Union was perfect. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I have not watched it yet. I might watch Daredevil, but I don't know. Thomas Jones for 20 says the common sense party versus the hate party of the dumbass sign holders. And The Last Jedi sucked. Thank you, Thomas. John freaking Murdoch says Stacey Abrams represented Earth in Star Trek. You could drive a truck through that gap. Yeesh. Andrew Sierra says, shut up, silly woman. Normal Man says, I don't take dumb Dems claims of defending democracy seriously when they were the people they were over the last 4 years. Agreed. Jeff Hill says, if I was in the family of that 13-year-old after what the newswoman said, I would sue her and the whole news situation. I just, right now, I'm just so glad we have so many people clowning the media because they absolutely deserve it. The Exalted Patriarch says, if anyone brandished a weapon cane like Al Green at anyone other than Trump, they'd have been arrested and shamed for weeks by the mainstream media. True. NDI says, what game should I play while I watch you? Black Flag, Days Gone, or Just Cause 4? Chat. Black Flag, Days Gone, or Just Cause 4? I'm going to go Black Flag. I'm going to go Black Flag. I'll let the chat give their answer. Jason Platten says, last night was epic. Trump made the Dems look horrible, and it only convinced even more people to vote MAGA next election. So pumped. Let's go. Nico says, the left are the enemy of the people. Hail the 199. Gerald Armstrong says, Bobert can stroke me at the theater. Eric K says, when the Cape Crusaders escape and the foil of the plot of the evil Dems, you will find out next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. That's pretty much how it goes. Joe Bitt says, anti-Al Green doesn't need the cane. It's a prop. Jimmy Ray says, Pocahontas wore blue instead of pink. Does she hate women? Yes. Andy I says, I think they lost their way when they decided to make a party to keep slaves. But hey, that's just a theory, a gay theory. Olympian Product says it gets worse with that migrant crisis that Europe is facing. That's all thanks to destabilizing the Middle East with Iraq. Van, I hated Obama in the primaries, never fell for it. Taker says, Jeremy, you said Obama created racial division. Grant Potato says, I used to defend Bush from criticism. Then I grew up and realized how much of a POS he was. I got caught in the Bush no child left behind act. F that BS. Yeah, man, he was a terrible, terrible person. And it's just like anything else. It takes everybody different levels to get to that point and realize it. Burns says, it's Marxist Revolution 101's sow division, destroy culture, attack the concept of family, make people dependent on the state. They keep trying it. And thankfully, Trump saved us from it. The Exalted Patriarch says, Kash Patel needs to open all Obama's files that were sealed before he became president. Birth and college papers, Manchurian candidate. Mola Ram with 5 gifted memberships. Thank you. Gerald Armstrong says, how did the 1992 space movie get a 94% on Rotten Tomatoes? Really? I've never looked it up on Rotten Tomatoes. That's fantastic. I'll look into that. Jim P says, if the Democrats keep this behavior, the Republicans could have the majorities in the House, Senate, like the Democrats had in the 80s. Cyber Hunk Return says, DJ is the best. How is this kid real? Jeremy is gay says, future cat lady. Blast Radio says, what is Dollar Store Cruella DeVille mad about? Gerald Armstrong says, Ivan Ooze from the Power Rangers movie. War Breer says, whose bush is more hairy, hers or Savvy's? Don't know. Grand Potato says, I didn't know Vulcans had blue-haired Karens. Let's see. Orleo says, new rule, if you need a cane to walk, you're too old for office. End the, what is that? I don't even know how to say it. We are ruled by the elitist cast by bygone. God, don't use big words with me. Viva Trump. I'm not even going to try them. Beardo can do that shit. Kat G says, I have always enjoyed your live streams and guesting on Nerd. Oh, what's up? Yeah, this is great. Thanks. Yes. Awesome. Thank you. Indy Ice says, Sweeney isn't mid, but she's no Jesse Lindstrom. You hear that, Jessica? Jessica, you hear that? You got fans. Indy Ice says, Jeremy's the hottest, though. Stop. Modalicious says, what kind of fig booze a cancer kid? A Democrat. Grand Potato says, The Phantom Menace is my favorite Star Wars movie. Super Steve says, 2005 was peak Star Wars. Episode 3, Republic Commando. Lego Star Wars. Episode 3, The Game. Episode 3, The Game is very underrated, by the way. And Battlefront 2. That's right. Force Geek says, Natalie Winters has a huge personality. Saren says, first super, have you ever read Hack Slash? Babes and Gore, one of the first comics I read in my teens. By the way, I think you're cool and straight. Roll Tide. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And Roll Tide to you as well, even though it's going to be a rough few years for Bama. Yeah, I read a lot of comics when I was younger, but not that one. But yeah, I've read a lot of Image comics and Marvel comics and some DC. I read like Nightfall and I loved a lot of the Batman stuff from that era and Superman. But Image Comics, I was a big fan of Image Comics back in the day. Bobo Yogi says, for $10, Jessica will bake you cookies and say bad things to you. For $100 of super chats, she will stomp on your wait. Never mind. Hail the 199. Listen to this. What the hell? Lying Dogface Pony Soldier with a gifted membership. Thank you, fantastic Mr. Knox. Says Stacey Abrams' lies is as big as the gap in her teeth. John Jones says, why does Stacey Abrams still think she has clout? NDI says, damn, I've seen the Grand Canyon through Stacey Abrams' teeth. Fantastic Mr. Knox says, Stacey Abrams thinks she's the leader of Earth. Slick Rick says, Stacey isn't invited to Space Mountain. We don't have a forklift rated for the weight requirement. Gerald Armstrong says he looks like he will be blank man in the future. Tinhead says, it will never cease to amaze me how these people manage to gaslight themselves into thinking their rhetoric is okay. Accident Seller says, what the fuck? Who is cutting onions? Yapping Tom says, first time super chatter, long time lurker. I'm sorry about retard Canadians booing America. Let's see. May Trump save us? Pierre is not the answer. Hashtag 51st state. Pierre is not the answer. That guy, he's starting to remind me of Ron DeSantis a little bit. Frosty says, instead of owning slaves physically like the Democrats did back in the day, they owned them economically. Same old Democrats. Accident Seller says, in 2008, the Republic was out of touch with the ones. See Eastwood. I mean, Clint Eastwood talking to the empty chair. I remember that. And she's a Sarah Palin. Now it's Democrats that are cringe. Yeah, Republicans were super cringe at that era with Clint Eastwood talking to the empty chair. I remember that. Chef Nick Nero says, you're muted. Tommy Doyle says that Congress speech from Trump was epic. Thanks for exposing me on Twitter the other week. I grew a small following thanks to the IDOTs. Hell the 199. Hail, Tommy. Grand Potato says, JD sat Mike down and had a big boy talk with him. Either fall in line or be ousted. Evan says, hail. Eugenia says, hail God Emperor Trump. Ministry of Wrong Things says, I sent you a link on DM about a Steve Turley video exposing 20 Democrats having the exact same scripted response videos. Yeah, I have that bookmarked. It's just been so much going on. I haven't had a chance to get to it. River Miles says, Stacey Abrams buys her dental floss from the vehicle recovery aisle at AutoZone. 20-foot links, 20,000-pound brake strength. Damn. And I'm going to go join our peeps over on Geeks and Gamers Play. We are playing Among Us tonight. So if you guys want to come join us for that, and I will be live tomorrow for a longer episode. I really want to get some of the super chats from the last night. I feel bad that I didn't get to all of them because, I mean, again, it's the type of stream where I can't really, read super chats that much because of the long speech and everything. There were so many, and I greatly appreciate it. And I really want to catch up on those if I can. I'm hoping so anyway, because you guys were insane last night, as you were tonight as well. So thank you all so much. Don't forget to visit MetaPC. I do appreciate the support over there. John Ambler says, don't get to catch Cobra Cast as much, but good to see you and glad to be here. Not to say anything about you being gay. It's already given. Haha. Much love to the 199. Good to see you, John Ambler. Appreciate you, man. So thanks, everybody. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys over on the gaming stream if you want to come hang out with us. This stream will raid that one. So if you guys want to come hang out with us over there, I will be on that stream here in the next 10 minutes. And I'll see you guys over there. Hail Trump. Hail to the 199. Appreciate all of you. I'll leave you with this, and then we're going to end it. Bye, everyone.
877 cash now. 877 cash now. They help thousands, they'll help you too. One lump sum of cash they will pay to you. If you get long-term payments, but you need cash now. Call J.G. Wentworth. 877 cash now. 877 cash now. 877 cash now. 877 cash now.